No, not that type of whip. A chain whip. Are you a beginner at bike maintenance? Or are you a pro? Or just an avid cyclist that wants to have their own tools and takes joy in making them? Anyway, if you fall into any of those categories, this video is for you. This is going to cover out how to make your own chain whip. Now, you're asking, if you're a brand new person at this, what is a chain whip? Well, chain whip is a tool that holds your cassette in place while you use a cassette tool to spin the release cap off in order to extract your cassette from your free hub. A lot of chain whips out there, and mine is kind of a hybrid because I had an old one, and so I stole the handle. But the handle could be made from a scrap piece of aluminum or a thin piece of steel that just needs to be rigid enough that you can apply a fair amount of torque to something and not have it bend. So I'd actually recommend something around, maybe an 1/8 of an inch thick steel, a 1/4 inch thick aluminum, and something about the width of the spacing of your cassette cogs and separation. And then you're just going to need a chain, an old chain that you have that is the same one that is being used on that bike that you want to make the tool for. That way they are compatible. Mine is an old chain whip that was for 9/10 speed, and so I needed to upgrade it to accept a 12 speed because the chain is a smaller, narrower chain, and the cassette spacing is closer together. When you use an old 9/10 speed chain whip, the chain will not fit into the cassette smoothly, and it wants to bind and get stuck, and it's kind of awkward. You can actually bend teeth and all that stuff because they don't mesh together well. And so I went and modified mine, and I'll show you what I did, and then I'll also show you as I go how you would make your own from complete scrap with a spare chain. All right, hang on. All right, so first thing I want to show you is the chain whip that I made, and I took an existing one and I just replaced the chain that was for a 9-speed, 10-speed, and put a 12-speed chain on there. And as you can see, it's kind of a hack. I attached it utilizing aluminum wire, as you can see, and it actually works quite well. I have no complaints. But if you wanted something that is completely homemade, you could actually do what I was going to do until I found my whip. Is you can use a piece of steel rod and cut it to length and do your own modifications to it. And all I did is went down to Home Depot, or this is purchased from Home Depot, and it's just a clamp, and you can adjust these clamps all the way out depending on how long it is, and they're really nice, but they're really inexpensive too. They're like $8 or something like that. So all you do is measure the handle length that you want, which is about 1 foot in length, and then you just replace the 9-speed chain, attach the new chain, used chain to your new tool. You have to spread the plates here around your steel. Now, this is a 1/4 inch steel rod and plate, extrusion, whatever, and this is something a little less than a 1/4 inch. It's about 200 thousandths in width. So you're going to have to grind where the holes are down to have something very close to the inside width of that chain so that it's not splayed too far out and your pin or wire won't go through very cleanly. As you can see, I utilized the pins on the flat section, and you can see they're a little splayed. They don't sit very clean, and the pins don't go all the way through. This one actually isn't too bad, but the pin, if you look very closely, I don't know if you can see that, it's not coming all the way through. So I expect this to come off sooner or later. And at that point, I'll grind this down more and then put either a new pin in there, or I will use aluminum wire. Now, the aluminum wire that I use is nothing but a tie for cyclone fences. That's all it is. And I use this because it's so easy to bend, and you can do it by hand. And so you can wrap it around, and it's replaceable. So when you want to go back to a different chain, or they come out with another standard, yeah, you can easily modify your existing whip to accommodate that new chain standard. So pretty straightforward. Just go out and go with it. See what you come up with. Now, the first one may not be as pretty, like this one's kind of, ghetto, but once you get it out and you find that it works and you know what you want to see in your whip, you can make a second one, especially if you buy a longer one of these clamps. You can actually get 2, maybe 3, depending on if you remove all this garbage at the end, or make it a slightly shorter handle. You can get maybe 2 or 3 different chain whips off of this one piece of steel, and you can even wrap it with cloth, or you can dip it in the that plastic grip material that you can get at most hardware stores, and voila, you got your whip. And have fun. All right, ciao. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to get a couple more out before June, I hope. All right, I do have another project that I will be working on. Hopefully, I'm going to be getting a pinion gear internal hub, and I'm going to do a build on that, because I really would like to have a belt drive bike, and so look for that out, and it's going to be probably over a whole year, because I'm going to build 2 frames, one full suspension and one hardtail. All right, take care. Talk to you all later.